Hi, Summer Bridge students. Welcome to week 3. Last week, the topic was values. This week, we're going to be focusing on student success, reading and writing about it. This week, the reading is called Choices of Successful Students, where you'll learn some of the characteristics of what makes students successful and unsuccessful. For grammar, the first lesson is on gerunds and infinitives, and the second lesson is on participial phrases. And these will help you with the reading and writing. For writing this week, you're going to be doing academic paragraphs. We're going to write 2 body paragraphs for a success essay about your philosophy of success. And then finally, this week's success tip is all about making wise decisions. Wise means intelligent or smart decisions. You'll be reading some scenarios of students and writing a discussion post sharing a wise decision you made in your life. So when you begin, click on the week 3 module and make sure you go over this overview. This week, we will talk about the qualities of successful students, learn how to make good decisions, and write academic paragraphs. And these are the things that we're going to be learning this week and that you will be able to do by the end of the week. By Tuesday, make sure you read over this overview, read the article. Let me show you what it is. So this is a nonfiction self-help text. So this text basically shows you some of the characteristics of successful students. For example, successful students have personal responsibility. That means they take responsibility for their actions, whereas struggling students don't take personal responsibility. So this text goes through 8 characteristics of successful students and what struggling students go through. So by Tuesday, read this over. Just do the best you can. Later on Wednesday, Professor Katie, and the tutors will help you in the Zoom session. And these are some vocabulary that might help you, and there are some flashcards. This reading activity, we will work on this in our Zoom session, but you can start thinking about which of these 8 characteristics do you have? Do you have self-management? Do you have self-awareness? What's something you struggle with, on the other hand? Do you struggle with self-motivation? So you could start thinking about your characteristics as a student. What's something that makes you successful, and what's something that you struggle with? Okay, and we'll be talking about that in our Zoom session. For Tuesday, I'd like you to learn about academic essays and body paragraphs. So please read about the academic essay. If you want, you can read the sample academic essay. We'll actually go in depth next week about a full essay, but it's there for you if you want to read it. But make sure you read this sample body paragraph. Okay? And we'll be talking about how to organize a body paragraph with a topic sentence, supporting sentences, and conclusion sentence. And you'll be writing academic paragraphs this week. If you can't attend our Zoom sessions, there's a video right here that explains about body paragraphs. So do that for Tuesday. Also, I'd like you to revise your This I Believe essay. On Monday morning, I'm going to send you in your inbox and also under grades some comments on your This I Believe essay, and then you're going to work on making it better. Last week, if you didn't do this essay, you can still turn it in. So if you have time on Monday or Tuesday, feel free to send it to me and I'll write comments, and then you can work on making it better. So that was for Tuesday. For Friday, there are 2 grammar lessons. One is on gerunds and infinitives. So a gerund is basically an ing, like I love making desserts. A gerund is kind of like a verb, but also it acts like a noun. So you'll be sometimes it goes after verbs, or it can be a subject in a sentence. So a gerund is ing. An infinitive is to and the base verb, like I love to eat desserts. This right here is the infinitive. So in this lesson, you'll be learning about gerunds and infinitives and how to use them in sentences. So this is gerunds and this is infinitives. After you watch the video, you're going to take a quiz. And you can take the quiz as many times as you like. If you want to watch other videos about gerunds, infinitives, and infinitives, I posted links right here. The second lesson is about participle phrases. This is ing phrases like crying loudly, the baby wanted food. So the baby was crying loudly. But this right here we call a participle phrase. So watch this video. You could also check out the lesson right here. And for Friday, you're going to practice writing participle phrases in a discussion post. You can finish these sentences right here with participle phrases in the blanks. I have my example here. You could read my examples. Like, walking by the ocean, I feel happy. This is my participle phrase. It has the ing. And I underline my participle phrase. Okay? And you can add a picture. This week, you're going to be writing about your path to success. Okay? We're going to be writing 2 body paragraphs. One body paragraph is about one characteristic you have of a successful student. So what one of these characteristics do you already have that make you successful? Okay? And in the second paragraph, you're going to talk about one you struggle with. Which one of these 8 do you struggle with that you don't have and that you want to develop to help you be more successful? Okay? I recommend looking at the sample body paragraph, looking back at the reading. You could also make an outline and start brainstorming ideas of what you want to write about. So here's my example. One thing I already possess, one characteristic I already possess is interdependence. That means I help other people and they help me. And so I have some details and examples. But one characteristic I struggle with is self-management, time management, and waiting to the last minute to do things. This is something I struggle with. So I want to work on that to be more successful. So this is like my notes before I actually write. And this will before I actually write my body paragraphs. Okay. And the success tip is all about making wise decisions. So these situations are about some students and some decisions they had to make. And in our Zoom session, we're going to be talking about them. So you can make this chart in your notebook before our Zoom session on Thursday. And we'll discuss what choice they had to make, what were the reasons, and whether we think it was the wise choice, meaning smart choice, or it wasn't a good choice. And then this week, you're going to be writing about a decision that you had made in your life and thinking about what were the reasons. Do you think it was a smart decision or not? And you can choose one of these guidelines. Do any of these relate to the decision you made? Because part of being successful is making those smart decisions. So we're going to be talking about that this week in our discussion board. And I have an example right here. Also, you have some reading assignments with Professor Katie Farrell. So please attend her Zoom session, or you can check this out and always check announcements. The reading professor and I always post the recordings and new information about the class that you can always check out if you can't attend our Zoom sessions. Okay, everybody. I look forward to seeing you in Zoom and working with you this week. Have a great week 3. Bye.